What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Billy Collins.
Matt, too many dojs.
This is Magician and
The Jock.
guys, this is part 2 or take number 2 of this video. And the reason is because what we're going to talk about today
Could change your life.
it could change your life.
could
But
save
we
your life.
really wanted to get a message.
We've been getting a lot of questions. Don't you love when YouTube creators? It's like, dude, it's your first video online. Yeah, guys, a lot of you guys have been asking questions about this. No, but we have had a lot of offline conversations.
We have, yeah.
For whatever reason, about the male-female dynamic, and we are both two dudes.
Two dudes.
And I wanted to, we kind of spitballed on, who is this video for? It's tough to talk to just everyone. Like, let's make a video relevant for everyone. It's impossible.
And that's what we tried.
It's like write a letter to everyone. Like, oh my God. Okay, write a letter to Tommy. Okay, I know Tommy. I can reference things that Tommy would get. It's a lot easier to write that letter. It's the same thing creating these videos. So today's video really is for men.
Right.
And specifically, we talked to a lot of younger guys, maybe around young Jock's age, who I remember being that age, thinking, okay, hey, I'm getting up here and I'm getting 27, 28, wanting to get married. And, we talked
Start the legacies.
Yeah, because, there's a lot of rites of passages for men, get married. It starts early on, right? Elementary school, middle school, high school.
It is drilled.
High school,
in your
Harvard, for me, graduate, find a girl, marry her, buy a home,
Kids.
white picket fence, kids. There's these different things, and as long as our life's on track, which it is for like the first 18, 20 years of our life, it's set in motion out of your control, really. You kind of have to show up, and then you get into the quote-unquote real world, and maybe like things are happening a little bit slower than you thought.
Yeah. And you start questioning yourself.
Like, what's wrong with me? My parents were married at this age and had children. Something's wrong, So
this is for men, but we talked earlier, women should get a little bit of value out of this.
Yeah,
so look at a man's perspective upon things.
Yeah, women trying to attract men trying to attract women. They're you should probably study who they're trying to attract as well. So, but we're specifically talking to guys right now, and really we just want to kind of explain the game, kind of how it works, maybe help you start to see kind of the code in the matrix, right? Here's how things work, and you really start to figure life out. And a lot of these guys may have started figuring out professionally, and they're really good in other interactions, but they can't figure out the other sex, right? They can't figure out why it doesn't work or why they can't get over so and so. But I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly. And we did some whiteboarding earlier about this because we really wanted to make sure.
It's a lot like snowboarding.
Oh.
Just a bigger surface. I'm hilarious.
And what did we the first thing we talked about was to realize
Yes.
that you don't have.
Well, so there's this idea of the biological clock, right? And it's said to women all the time, hey, your clock's ticking. Now, as dudes, a lot of times we will set our clock, at least mentally, with women.
With women, yeah.
They're ticking. I guess I should be too, right? But they're different, right? Now, we have a different kind of clock. And when we're saying clock, we're talking about when you're kind of peaking. If you want to think of marriage as like you're cashing out, right? This is the one I'm taking vows to be with for the rest of my life.
Yeah, all my other options
for a long time,
right?
So I'm willing to say no to everything else, cash out here, right? Now, if you want to get the highest value mate, you're trying to time it to when you're at the highest value, if that makes sense.
That makes total sense. And sometimes, a lot of the times, guys will peak a little later than women.
Absolutely.
And so you might be at that later stage of your late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, if someone right now is 26 and they're stressing about getting married, I look at them and say, dude, pump the brakes. It's only going to get better.
Yeah, simmer down.
Because the reality is, guys, it takes men longer to mature in the areas that women find attractive.
Right, when it comes to your economical stand,
Yep.
your perception of just life in
Understanding
general.
how the world works.
Yeah, I mean, you're growing knowledge. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that you're not going to get at 22, 23
No, you
years
can't.
old.
And I think it's important, guys, if you're sitting here and you're single and you're struggling and you're not getting much attention, or maybe you're getting a lot of attention, but you're not real sure, like, is this the one? Is this the one? Is that the one? First of all, there is no one.
No.
That's
we
a
get into
key.
that.
Did you ever suffer from that?
The what? Thinking the one?
Yeah, we call it one-itis, where
100%,
you dated someone, the one turned into the one that got away.
Yeah.
Did you ever go through something like that?
Of course. I was married for 20 years. So, it's kind of like I thought she was the one. And, this is, we
So when you got married, she's like, oh, everyone, guess what? I found the one.
Right.
I'm getting married.
Right.
You like the stars aligned.
Everything was over. I'm done searching.
Yeah. God bless the broken road that led me straight to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then, like you said, got away. Now I'm divorced. But, and that one-itis, we talked about it earlier, and it does hurt, and you're always chasing that and trying to be.
So why is that notion of the one, why is that so, number one, it's so pervasive. So we get it. Like, guys, I know so many men have gone through just heartbreak. You're looking at one. It took me, I dated a girl in college. It took me 6-7 years to get over her. Dude, and this was at a time, it wasn't like I was in in a basement. We live in the coast and you can't have a basement here. But it wasn't like I locked myself in a room and just was like, couldn't come out. I mean, I was seeing other women, had a lot of attention. I was playing ball professionally, all that stuff. But I had this sickness so bad. So if you're going through, dude, we get it.
Yeah, because, and like we said,
it's paralyzing.
I got married at 26. So I was in that, still building my value, still building my self-worth, chasing the excellence.
Still trying to figure out what you wanted to be when you grew up.
Yeah, I didn't know what I wanted. I was 26. I had no clue.
And the reality is most guys that go through me included, it's just, oh yeah, I'm just going to get married. Kind of sleepwalking through it.
Yeah, well, and
it'll just work out.
I had this illusion that I was mature. Like, oh, I'm mature. I can handle this. I can do this. But now looking back, I was nowhere near mature enough.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, there's different areas you can mature. Like there's muscular maturity, and then there's when people hear like, yeah, boys will be boys. Yeah. There isn't men are held to a different standard for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's important to realize, guys, if you're sitting here in your mid-20s or whatever, you're wondering why you're not getting the attention. All the girls maybe you went to high school with, or girls right around your age are like, you're invisible to them. Well, here's the reality, guys. They are peaking right around that time because at the end of the day, women, by and large, are beauty objects, right? You poll men on the street. What are you looking for? I think we did this on a show earlier. Like you're like, boobs. It's very pretty, very simple. And they've done studies on this now, polling, guys anywhere from 15 to 90. Who do you find the most attractive? And they all point to a girl somewhere in the 22, 23, 24-year-old range.
Yeah.
Right? If you go to a nursing home, you're going to see some 90-year-old dude still hitting on the 25-year-old nurse thinking he's got a chance because he's still wildly attracted to her.
Because it's biology basically because it's built into us that's the.
Well, because beauty, what does that imply? Fertility, right?
Yeah.
It implies health. There's a reason why you don't look at a morbidly obese woman and find her attractive. It's more so than just the aesthetics. It's because legacy is so important to us. We want someone to bear our children, and it's like, I don't think she's going to make it I'm worried she's not going to make it through childbirth. She's definitely not going to be. You get what I mean?
Of course.
These are all in our subconscious. I never understood this. I just thought it was like ew and hot and ooh and hot, But there is a biological level to it.
Yeah. So.
So what does that mean for guys? Well, what that means for you guys, you're like, okay, great, they're peaking, and it's realize your peak is coming.
You just have to be patient.
It's later. Yeah. Because it comes down to, what do women find attractive in men, right? What are they looking for? Why do they go for this one, not that one, right? Why is this one?
And it's the classic, guys, when you get older, take the peacock. Okay, a male peacock, when it's mature and the feathers are nice.
Peacock, what a great name.
The feathers are nice and full and beautiful flowers or feathers. The reason is because they've hit that high value. They've already hit the maturity level, and now they're more attractive.
Yeah. I mean, but if you think about it, guys, women by and large, and it's become less and less because now they're in the workforce so much, but they are looking for a provider, especially if you're going to start a family, right? Because they are how God has us wired. We don't get pregnant, right? So I missed 1-2 days of work when Allison had Jackson. I mean,
she missed 6 weeks
for a long time, right? And then obviously now she has a child and wants to nurture, is breastfeeding, doing all that stuff. It's a long commitment, right? So if she's going to be willing to do that with you, you have to have the ability to provide.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't care if you're a male or female. That takes time, right? You don't come out, you're not 18, 19, 20 balling out professionally. Now, I was in a unique position because I played football professionally. Right. That was like my highest earning years was like right after college. So I was kind of out of whack.
Yeah,
but for everybody else, it's a slow build
to build that high value stature.
And believe it or not, guys, you are going to peak in the eyes of women. Like you're going to be at your highest value right around 35 to 40, somewhere in there. It's when you're going to be best off financially. You're going to have figured out, here's where I'm good in the marketplace. I'm kind of know what I want to be when I grow up. I'm a little bit more grown up. You have maybe some grades, some wisdom, because at the end of the day, women just want guys who get it. Mm-hmm. They don't want to have to sit you down and teach you how to be a man.
They do that enough with their own children. They don't need to raise another child.
Right. And how many guys do we hear that? Like, oh, I'm her big child. I hear so many men say that. I'm like, that's the cringy. If your wife is cringing right now when she hears that.
Yeah, she doesn't want another child. She has her enough to, if she has children. But when it comes to guys that are seeking that marriage and that status and wanting to have a family and start your legacy, is like, take your time.
100%.
Take your time. Enjoy the ride. Learn as much as you can. Build your worth. Build your value in yourself.
And understand that takes time, right?
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight.
Years and years ago, men advanced much faster. They had to, right? You're a 20-year-old, 22-year-old 100 years ago. Like, that's a lot different than today.
You were middle age at 25.
Right. Like, you had to grow up a lot faster. And you can look at average marriage ages. Back then, it might have been in the early 20s, late teens. Now it's around 29, 30. Right. Yeah. So it's pushing off. So understand that. If you're feeling pressure, first of all, pressure never leads to good decisions. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like, don't go to the grocery store when you're hungry. You're not going to make good decisions. Don't make a decision based on this weird pressure you're feeling to where, like, I just want to be married.
I got to be married.
You're going to overlook character flaws and these different things for the sake of just wanting to be married. Right? I always said, like, man, I don't want to be 50 playing catch with my son in the backyard, and like being too old to play with him. And I guess there's some truth to that. But at the same time, if you get married while you're still figuring stuff out, right? Marriage costs. You can speak to that. It's not cheap. It's like you're on a treadmill.
And that's why, I feel like you did it the right way. You waited.
But more on accident than anything. Because I had one itis so bad. Like, honestly, if that would have worked, I would have got married right out of college. Yeah. Like, I was convinced. It would have been a nightmare. Yeah, it would have been horrible, but I justified it because, like, well, my parents got married around 23, 24. Right, that was 40 plus years ago. That's a different world
Yeah.
right now, right? So it happened to work out that way, but I didn't really know why, you know. But I was
That was
pretty
God's plan for you right there.
right. God's plan, and fortunately, that's just how it worked out. But it could have been way worse, right? I tell people when I was in the league, I didn't go broke, but it's not because I was some financial whiz kid. It's just like, fortunately, I had people around me that didn't steer me the wrong way. But if somebody showed up and said, "Hey, man, here's a great investment. It's called a Ponzi scheme. Here's how it works," I'd have been like, "All right, that sounds 100% returns. What, I can only get one at the bank. Yeah, let's do it. That sounds great."
Yeah, but because you were at that age, you were.
I was
Not
dumb.
that you did, yeah, but
I didn't have experience.
It takes
I had no
time
perspective.
to, yeah.
Yeah. So understand that, guys. We our encouragement, to men, I would say spin plates until 30.
Yeah,
And what we
at
say by
least.
spin plates is not be exclusive.
Yeah, and again, we can move
Be
on.
upfront about that.
Yeah, and that goes with our next step is that's the time you start chasing excellence.
So you should always chase excellence. But the point of spinning plates, number one, it comes from one-itis. It's really from a mindset of scarcity.
Yeah.
Right? This is the one out of how many billions of people? 7, 8 billion people in the world. This is the one. It's not very abundant, right? It's like fishing in a place where there's millions of fish, and you get one on the line, and you lost, and you're like, "Oh no, I'll never have another fish." And they're like, "Bro, there's plenty of fish." I think that was a website at one time, but
So, when it comes to spinning plates and stuff, is it also an opportunity to get the wild oats out of you? You think?
what do you mean selling your wild oats? I think that's more for women, not the men.
Well, but saying getting it out of your system, like getting the whole going through. Not saying that you're just tearing through a bunch
No,
of
I see
women,
what you're saying.
but
Like get the party years out so you
Right.
can be
Yeah,
serious
yeah.
when you get older. I guess maybe you're younger and have more energy, but men, it's also important to understand how you're wired as a man, right? Perfect world, men maybe won't admit it, but if they had their choice and there was no cultural taboos and they weren't going to have to answer to their parents they weren't going to have to walk into church and everybody would be like, "Oh my God," it would be unlimited access to unlimited
potential
women,
yeah.
right? Unlimited sexual whatever. That's how we're wired. Now the difference is there are some men who can act on that, right? They have that ability to draw those in. And there's others that maybe they just lost the genetic lottery. They're not attractive, blah, blah, blah. They still have that desire. And for most men, you can see where they
Is that?
but out of those two pictures, who do you think's going to have trouble attracting female or not?
It just has. It's coincidence that is on my side.
So just realize that desire, it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
That's the male
You're
dating
right,
strategy.
it is.
It's always there, right? Now you get older and I think you just lose energy. Honestly, it's a lot of work, but that's kind of the reality. That's our dating strategy. Women's dating strategies are different, but understand that is how you're wired. Now, spinning plates, why that is beneficial is because you're understanding female nature.
Yeah.
And you're also coming from a place of abundance, right? If you've ever worked in sales, what do they always say? It's a numbers game, right? This is a numbers game too, and this is probably the most, who you choose to marry is the most important decision in your life, especially if you guys are going to have kids. That you are tied to that person for eternity, right? At least on this earth, right?
Yeah.
She will always be the mother of your children.
No doubt.
You're seeing that. You're
Yeah,
through a
I
divorce.
And we still communicate. And we
You
still,
have to. You
because-
have those ties, those
Yeah.
bonds. If you guys didn't have children, all you would be sharing was that experience you
memories
lived
and-
together,
yeah, and
right?
that's it. Yeah.
And those would fade, but there's nothing concrete, breathing, that has desires and ambitions of their own. So that's a huge, huge decision. If you get that decision wrong, holy cow, that's going to stay with you forever. It's going to stay. Now, But again, there is no the one. There's good ones and bad ones, right? So spin plates, number one, it gives you a better chance of picking like if you have 10 homes to choose from versus just one home to choose from, you're going to have a better choice, a better chance of picking a house that's going to work for you if you have more options, right?
Yeah, picking the best steak in the lineup.
Because eventually what will happen, one will rise to the top, right? Now we know friends that they're just serial monogamists, where they go from one 5-year relationship to another 5-year relationship to another 5. They're just they are constantly in a relationship, and they've never. It's usually there's like a very short intermission between the one or the other. They're lost without somebody.
They gotta have that.
Yeah, and
companionship.
These people. It's very cringy. So, anyways, but what you were leading into.
The number 2 thing about spinning plates is that you learn a woman's dynamic.
Absolutely.
So.
And now some guys might be thinking like, hey, I'm a nice guy. I would never do that. Like, I would never disrespect her like that. Well, here's how you need to understand, guys. All right. If there's some girl that you want to attract, what's the best thing you can do to make her attracted to you?
Show her that you have options.
Walk in with another girl in your arm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't want to play games, Matt. Okay. But it just is what it is, right? Because when you walk in with another, it shows that, oh my gosh, Billy's in demand. Mm-hmm. He's high value, right? What do we do when we see, oh, I want to buy that, and then I see 10 other people that want to buy it? Suddenly, I want to buy that a lot more.
I'll pay more for it.
It's in demand. Yeah. Now it gives you almost a sense of urgency. So, guys who struggle in business with women, it comes from a lack of what? Lack of options.
Options, yeah.
It's all or nothing with this one. And if that, you're not going to act right. I mean, what are your? That's my thesis. That's been my experience.
Well, and excuse me, you brought that to my attention about the options, because I never really thought of it in that way. I probably because I was out of the loop so far. I really didn't even think about options, but now coming on the back end of it, and when I go out, go to take a girl here or there, I do have those options. I'm like, okay, well,
and if she says no, you're not like, oh no.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well next.
I'm not on a deserted island. Like, it's
not
all or nothing.
Not to be male chauvinistic, but it's next. It's like, okay, okay, you don't want to go, fine.
Right.
On to the next one.
But you're never going to find love. Guys, if you're sitting around in full-on monk mode thinking love is going to show up at your front door like the sweepstakes.
Sadly mistaken.
First of all, she's not going to want you. Or the one that you want, that archetype's not going to want you, because that's she's probably hot. She probably has unlimited attention from dudes. And why would she pick you? Like, no one wants you.
And
why would she want you?
And you've said this before, even if you are in a relationship or in a marriage or whatever the case may be, still have options.
It's
the ability.
It is weird. So what happens a lot of times, alpha males, guys who have a ton of options, who were single and loved the single life, right? They got married because they found a girl that they were like, okay, I like her. I could see her raising my children. Mm-hmm. A lot of times they will start acting. They'll change, right? Because they lose their edge.
Yeah.
Right. That is a tricky thing. Like, how do you keep your edge when you're married? It is tough.
It's tough, but you got to practice it.
But you almost have to continue to behave, maybe not doing everything like you did when you were single, but realize when you find a girl or multiple girls or whatever, and she shows you interest, she wants to be blah, blah, blah. If you change and then start acting like this needy beta, just, oh, I love you, I worship the ground, blah, 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 you're going to turn her off so much. We've talked to so many women. Women, when I've explained this to girls, you know what they say? They're like, ew, oh, God, I hate that. That's the weirdest. As dudes, we're thinking we're doing the right thing.
Oh, yeah, 100%, because we're doing what they
We're treating her like
do.
a princess.
Yeah, exactly what she said.
She's the princess. Yeah.
I work with a lot of girls, and they'll flat out say, I don't like the nice guys.
Yeah.
And it's not that they're, you know, that
They'll say
the
they hate it
non-nice
about.
guys are
They'll say
like
they hate it
bad
about
guys.
them. Or they'll say, I hate it that I don't like. Why'd you break him? I don't know. He's perfect. He's so nice. He cooks for me. He does this. He spoils me.
And the problem is that he's nice and he cooks for you and he spoils you. Because you forget.
He's screaming of someone that has no other option.
And it also takes the chase. I feel like women love the chase too.
Yeah, to an extent, but they want to look up to you.
Yeah.
Right? That's hypergamy 101. Women are going to date either across or up. If a girl's 5'9", sorry Billy, but she's not going to date someone that's shorter than her. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't know why she does it. The guy checks all the boxes. If she her preference wouldn't be. Now, if she has no other options, that's kind of, she's going to date someone taller than her. If she's making $100,000, she's not dating a dude that's making $50,000.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It is not going to happen. And I've talked to girls and they're like, why are guys so intimidated by girls that make a lot of money? It's like, intimidated? No, you're not attracted to guys that make less money than you. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. I'm like, what? Intimidated?
Crap.
You got guys making, like, why don't you just go marry a bum? See how intimidated they are.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, hell yeah. Like, I'm all for this, right? But it's not about intimidation. It's about what they find attractive or not, So understand that, guys. So why is this beneficial? Well, because some guys hear this and they're like, man, it sounds like a lot of work. I'm just going to tap out. I'm going to take my ball and go home. They swallow the red pill, which is basic. We should do a show on red pill, blue pill. But
yeah, definitely.
it's just seeing the world for how it is, right? Seeing the code in the matrix. They see that and they're like, I'm out. That sounds like work. Whereas it's like, no, learn the rules of the game and then just start exploiting them.
Yeah, and play it.
And you'll see like, oh my God, I'm a Jedi. But also understand, guys, it just takes you a while to grow into what the girls you desire, to grow into what they desire, right? So don't take it personally. Take it as like, okay, like I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to chase excellence, not women. And we're not saying avoid women like the plague, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that in take one, but I mean, how do you explain that?
So when we talk about chasing excellence, is taking that time that you're just pumping the brakes, working on yourself. You're working on your value as a man.
If you're fat, get in shape. Go to the gym.
If you're broke, get a job, make more money. If but
ambitious.
Increase your value, because a woman. We just talked about it.
They're going to date up.
They're going to date up. They're going to look at that and say, okay, I need him because he's high value. And by you chasing the excellence, you're going to become high value.
Yeah.
And as a high value man, the women will come. So you don't even have to chase women.
Yeah,
they'll chase you.
It's chase excellence, attract women, right? But now we're not saying go monk mode and avoid women and say like, all right, I'm gonna do what Billy and Matt said. I'm gonna chase excellence. I'm gonna put my head down, go to the gym every day, and when I got the six pack, when I get in shape, then when I have the $250,000 a year income, and then because that could take 10 years. All right, at that point, then I'm gonna say, ladies, I'm here.
By that time, you're so socially awkward.
Yeah, don't do that because you haven't gotten attention. The first girl that shows you attention, you're gonna fall right in. You're gonna be taken for everything you got.
Yeah, and remember, that goes back to the spinning plates.
Yes.
We talked about spinning plates, and the reason why you spin plates is so you can understand what a woman wants. You understand
there's more than one.
Yeah.
The higher you grow, the higher your perceived value is. Because a lot of it is perceived value.
Yeah, 100.
And realize too, guys, like when men are gauging a woman, this is probably helpful for women too, but men, we look at a woman's past. Now for guys, women look at your future, right? They're looking at, because they're cashing out of the game too. Now you're kind of looking at their future too, but if you're on your own mission, you're chasing excellence, you're putting your dent in the universe, you're doing something, right? You're not just a wandering generality. They're going to get on your program. Right now, women hear that and they're like, not me. I'm a strong, independent woman. I'm on my own program. He can get on my program. I'm like, I hear you say that. The problem is you're not attracted to guys that want to get on your program. You're like, why does he want to be on my program? I want to be on, you won't admit it. This is why this conversation is usually pretty fruitless to have with women. But for men, I think a light bulb goes off a lot. And, realize the higher your value goes, the bigger your dating pool gets.
And let's be honest, women look at that because women want to protect it. They want to provide it. They want someone that's going to be, like we talked in take one, the apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're walking down a dark alley, like, do they feel safe with you? Like, I don't know if I've ever walked with my chick down a dark alley, like, oh, here's my chance. There isn't a burglar and she wasn't wrong,
Yeah.
But yeah, they want to look up to you.
Yeah, so and that's what we talk about, chase excellence, not women.
Mm-hmm.
The women will come.
In more ways. But
just by nature.
Yeah, it'll happen. But then also, too, like, chasing excellence means more than just your income, right? Women do have eyeballs, too. Mm-hmm. We are success objects, but if you're attractive, there's the genetic component, too, right? Because what'll happen, and it's funny, I talk to a lot of girls about this, because the pressure's on them a lot harder because they're kind of on the down. The wall comes for them all. And we
kid. Come faster for women.
We kid, and we kind of don't kid, but guys realize men age like wine, women age like milk. That's all I'm going to say. I've never had a girl disagree with that. You know what they say? I know. It's so unfair. What the heck? This sucks.
Or they get mad, but then they start thinking about
like, so-and-so gets grays, and it's handsome. I get grays, and I'm like a whatever. Like, they'd send me to a convent, But yeah, so I don't know where I was going with that, but just
well, you're talking about just not only your value as an income and
so don't focus,
but your physical appearance.
Yeah, because the genetic component too, right? So women, they want to maximize their hypergamy. They want to maximize if they're going to have a kid with you, right? There's two sides of the coin that women are looking at: alpha seed. Beta need, right? Beta need being the provisioning, the protection, those things, the stable man at home that's going to watch the kids and do all that stuff. The alpha seed is the big strapping, The Rock, Jason Momoa, MATJ, those kind of just genetic freaks. This guy who they want to have a baby with, right?
Right.
And what happens a lot of times, if you're a beta, you don't understand how this works. They'll have the kids with the alphas, and then they'll rope a beta into paying for them, right? They'll rope him in, and for the beta, he's like, man, this is awesome. I don't care if she has kids. I love kids.
Yeah, I love kids. I love taking care of kids.
Yeah.
That aren't mine.
I'll take, and now I know that's kind of a tender subject because
you
married
did.
a single.
I don't regret it one bit, but
it's not demonizing it.
Yeah, but in hindsight, you.
But I asked you earlier. I'm like, would you tell your son to do the same thing? You were like,
no,
hell, no, absolutely not. So it's kind of rules for thee, not for me.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think as a beta looking in is that you really need to. I don't even know if a beta can see it. Can a beta see it?
See what?
That was, hey, I shouldn't take care of someone else's kids, or I should just bow down to her needs, or I should just go out and do whatever she wants. I don't know if they can see that. I
don't know if they can see how fruitless it is, or how unattractive it is. Right? There's a saying: treat her like a celebrity, she'll treat you like a
fan.
It is just the truest thing ever. I have all these sayings like, treat her like dirt, she'll stick to you like mud. Now that's like, were men jerks first, or did they notice, hey, women tend to be attracted to the jerks, the dark triad type personalities? I'll behave like that. But realize too, setting boundaries a lot of times, you can kind of feel like a jerk.
Yeah.
You're like, not to be a jerk. Not to be an a-hole, not to be a prick, or to come off as a male chauvinist or whatever, but it's like, women are allowed to have boundaries.
Yeah.
They're encouraged to. They are encouraged to, right? But we're supposed to swallow the fat pride, and like there's like marketing campaigns to like try and convince men to accept this just morbidly obese. I mean, just men and women across the board are morbidly obese now, which is another reason, guys, get in the gym. So I think it's something like 60 or 70% of the population's overweight. So that means you level up a little bit, you're going to find there is no damn competition.
Yeah, and
this is shooting fish in a barrel.
I joke around when people say, well, "Wow, Billy, you really got in shape," and I said, "Well, I got to sit by the Dodge.
Jockeys.
I have to sit by the person who won the genetic lottery, but you can do it. If I can do it."
Mm-hmm. Yes, I mean, wherever you are right now, guys, be honest with yourself, but rate yourself from, and this is a Rich Cooper thing, but be brutally honest. I'm not saying go post it on your whatever social media. 1 to 10, 1 being the worst version of yourself, 10 being the best version of yourself. Right now, we're not saying compare. I'm not comparing myself to The Rock or Jason Momoa or whatever.
Just
like,
compare yourself with yourself.
You can be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Right. We can all. I mean, you're not 6'5" and with 80-inch chest or anything like that, but you're like, well, I can't help that. I couldn't pick my parents.
Yeah.
While I'm here, I might as well maximize what I have. And you're seeing like, it's the attention from women. Is the attention in general, but is the attention from women, has that gone down since you got in better shape or gone up?
It's increased tremendously.
And was it like all of a sudden, once you were in great shape, you got attention, or you were getting more and more attention as you got in better and better shape?
The more I got in shape, the more attention I got.
You see the quality of the women that are attracted to you.
Look at your arms.
Yeah.
And then they were talking about boundaries. They just come up and touch you and whatever. But I had to take that initiative to get healthy and drop the dad bod and go with the Chad bod. Because it just women, you can fool yourself all you want to. You don't want a dad bod.
No.
So guys,
it's funny. There was that was kind of like the male version of the like fat pride. Mm-hmm. That thing crashed and burned.
Big time.
Because they're like, no, we don't find that attractive at all.
But then again, we're supposed to think that an overweight woman's supposed to be hot.
I guess we're supposed to, but you can't help. You can't help what you're not attracted to.
That dynamic's changing too, because you look at these celebrities, the Melissa McCarthy's, the Rumor Wilson, Adele. Mm-hmm. They've dramatically lost weight.
Yeah.
Why? Because one, they're getting older, and their value is slowly
They're starting
declining,
to see, that's all BS.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's all BS.
It's not cool to be.
And here's the thing, guys. It's not an anti-woman. I've never had an objection from a woman when I've talked to her. She's like, yeah, it's kind of. They feel bad that they don't feel bad about feeling this way. But average women do not want average men.
No, they don't.
We got the 6 6s, right? The 6-figure income, 6-pack abs, at least 6 inches in the
pants or
that's their checklist, right? And they'll say, I'm not settling until I get that. But ladies, you better start stocking up on cat food because even I believe it was Morgan Stanley or Merrill Lynch put out and Rollo talks about this a lot, but an article talking about the rise of the she economy. And they made a prediction by, I want to say 2040, 2042, something that women between 25 and 45, which is like peak earning years or whatever for women, or something around there, they estimated like 40 to 50% would be unwed, no children. In other words, start investing in cat food, mutual funds, right? Because
I got a cat.
And I feel, my heart breaks for women, guys, because they are sold this lie too. Like they are told to put their head down and work and be that independent person through their peak years.
Yeah.
And they're going to come out on the other side, 30, 31, 32, with a great career, great job, and Mr. Right is going to be there waiting for her.
And some might have that empty feeling too. Like, I did all this great stuff. I've got this big income. I'm the she boss, but there's something missing. What's missing?
it's awesome. Like, I love ambition. I love entrepreneurialism. I don't care male or female.
Right, me too.
Love it. I think it's great, but where the lie is, just like the lie is for guys, if I'm a nice guy, if I can just treat her with respect, if I'm there, if I can, comfort her, rub her feet, roll out the red carpet, all that stuff, she'll love me. And you're like, why did she ghost me? Why did I take her on a date and then she went and hung out with Chad?
Yeah.
And he didn't pay for anything, and he gets to sleep with her, and I'm sitting here like the schmuck with the receipt. Why does she make all these rules for me, not for him? That's why.
Duh.
Well, for women, the lie is, girl, you be a boss bee, right? Be that entrepreneurial. And they're told that, look, men are going to find that attractive in you. We don't. They are, essentially both genders have got it mixed up, right? The man is trying to embody the traits that he finds attractive in a woman, and the woman is embodying the traits that she finds attractive in a man. Ambition, drive,
and
income.
with that being said, if a man is attracted to that, odds are a woman's not going to be attracted to that guy, because now I've got to take care of him because he's attracted to me, and he doesn't.
Well, or no, or let's say it works out, right? You're 32 now as a female. You've busted your tail. You created some app, or you did something. Now you're making $500,000 a year. You're in the top 1% or whatever percentage of income earners. You're crushing it. You got a beautiful home. You're still going to be attracted to men that are taller than you, that make more money than you, generally that are older than you. So let's play that out. Mr. 35-year-old, great shape. He's 6'3", 6'4", ripped, earns $1 million a year. That's who you're attracted to.
Yeah.
That guy is so spoiled for choice. He has his pick of anyone, right? Because for women to date up and marry up, that means men have to date down, marry down. Mm-hmm. Who's he going to choose? The 32-year-old who's got drive, who's a boss bee, who is will challenge him intellectually, all this stuff. Or the beautiful girl that wants to have his kids.
Yeah, because as guys, we talked about we want a soft place to land.
Yeah, you want a soft place to land, right? I'm out, I'm out killing, bringing home the bacon. We just want you to cook it.
Yeah, and odds are
take care of our kids.
If we're out competing all day long, we don't want to come home and compete again.
God, no.
We don't. We just don't.
Not at all. And so that's the problem. The more success women get, it's kind of sad. I feel bad for them too, especially if they put their head down. I don't feel bad that they're making money. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But I feel bad because I know a lot of them are sitting here at 32, 33. You see the posts online. Where are all the good guys? I'm tired. I'm done. If you're not serious, don't talk to me. Mm-hmm. I'm not playing no games. And it just screams of someone who realizes, man, my clock's ticking. I can't compete. I'm 32. I can't compete with my 22-year-old self.
And the thing is
someone save me.
We're probably going to get a nasty comment or a hate comment or whatever. And the reason is because
she'll have to put down her cats first. Billy has a cat.
Okay, put down the 9 lives.
But
they know that we're right.
That's the reality. Like, you have to just do this thing in your head, like play it out. If this works out like how I'm thinking, what would the outcome be? And you realize, man, that's the cruel joke, is that the more successful a woman gets, the smaller her dating pool is. It's not because men are intimidated by her. It's because she's not attracted to anyone that's lower than her.
Yep.
At all.
Yep.
So, guys, long story short, realize there is no one, right? There's good ones and there's bad ones. If you're sitting here at 26 and you're single, count it as a blessing, right? Count it as a blessing. Put your head down, build up your value. You'll see naturally as you're building your value, you're going to get more and more attention. The higher you rise, the bigger the dating pool is of women that are going to be attracted to you. And then I'll say the last thing, because people ask, like, should people get married? Man, it sounds like you hate marriage. And I say, no, I believe men and women are better together. Do I think there's problems with the law and the system and the divorce machine? Yes. Right. I think men should be required to sit in family court for a week before deciding to get married. But I believe the only reason to get married for a man is to have children. That's the only. I do believe in that stability.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, stay together for the kids. You know, there's so many studies that show 70-80% of the prison population are made up of kids raised by single moms, right? But understand that, right? You're looking a lot of times from mothers, like mother stock, right? Can she raise my kids? And women out there, you're not sitting around like, God, I want to have kids. Baby rabies. There are some like that. But if you're sitting here like, I don't want to have kids. This is weird. I always thought I'd want to be a mom. Here's what will happen. You don't want to have kids. You want to have his kids. Mm-hmm. Right? And for guys, that's the same way. You don't want a girl that just has baby rabies, but you want a girl that sees you.
And wants to have your kids.
Wants to get on your program.
And that's where it comes to,
worships the ground you walk on.
And you get that by chasing excellence.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would be my encouragement to guys is take heart. Also understand if you're 25 now and single, you're 10 years at least from being what women find the most women find the most attractive. Hang in there. Think of it almost like you're trying to sell your house, right? I own a house, and there's word that in 5 years there's some interstate that's going to come through that is going to quadruple the value of my house. But I'm sitting here no, I thought I would sell my house by this age. I need to sell it right now. I'm going to sell it. I can still get something. It's like, are you an idiot? 5 years, it's going to be worth 4 or 5 times as much as it is. Just stick it out for the time being. And then when you sell it, so in other words, getting married is like cashing out, like selling your dating strategy for the rest of your life. So if you're going to do that, wait till you're at a much higher value. Because it only gets better with age.
Yeah, and I guess in my closing is, guys, it's okay to find pride in yourself, and don't be ashamed of seeking that excellence and being a better person, because women will thank you for it.
God, yeah. What do men want? Respect.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to respect the guy that can't or doesn't respect himself.
Exactly. You can't expect them to have pride in you if you don't have pride in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So just like men, reclaim masculinity. Be a dude. Do what naturally. Don't apologize for being a guy, right? Because that's what women are attracted to. The vast majority of them, So, man, this is fun.
Yeah, we haven't done this in a while.
This was deep.
This
Carter County Cruds got me this like late night radio
you do
DJ.
Have the Art Bell voice.
Who's that? Oh yeah.
Nighttime UFOs and all that shit.
Oh, thanks. Sounds sexy.
Guys,
could you just say Barry White? Or?
Well, guys, if you found value in this, please leave us a comment to let us know that you have.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and hit the subscribe button.
Smash that like button and share it with your friends. Did I just steal your thunder?
No, you didn't. But you can add that in.
But share, and if you have suggestions for us too, like
yeah. If you like we said, if we disagree with this, or if you agree with us, leave us a comment.
Yeah, or if you need clarification, or if you want to come, if you're a woman, this would be a lot of fun, and you want to have a debate. It won't even be a debate; it would be more a discussion. But we would love to hear that. We would absolutely love to get a woman's
side of things. That would be fun.
Yeah, we need to be fair.
Anyway, guys, we'll see you on the next video.
Peace.